Hey guys, DW here. Just want to let you know if you haven't yet, come over and visit us at fanboysinc.com. That's right, fanboysinc.com. We're not just great podcasts, we're so much more. We got some great articles, reviews, news, videos, so much going on. New content is put up all the time, so come out and check us out over there. It's a great time. Also, of course, while you're there, why don't you listen to a podcast, 2 or 3? That's right, we have Inkcast out every Wednesday. We have Infinite Crossover out every Thursday. And we have Geek Girls Nerd Boys out every Friday. Some great content for everybody out over there. While you're there, why don't you subscribe? We're also on iTunes and Stitcher. All 3 of those podcasts are out on those 2 platforms. Stitcher is great for your mobile devices. Subscribe there, get it instantly the minute it's uploaded. It's a good time over there, and it's great. You listen on your tablets, your mobile phones, even your PC. So like I said, check us out, subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher. So that's enough of me blabbing here. Let's get on to another great FBI podcast. Peace.
Hello, and welcome to Geek Girls Nerd Boys. I'm Tom Obuski, and tonight we're back with the full crew.
Boo!
Boo!
Aaron Scythe and Mike Brains.
Boo this man! Come on, give it some candy. Don't pretend you're not home.
Dad, that's our house.
She's a witch! Get her!
All right, you mutinous, disloyal, computerized half-breed.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
You stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
Welcome to Geek Girls, Nerd Boys.
Oh my god.
I just put my head down and kept plowing through that.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is our pun episode.
God, I'm gonna turn this off now.
Oh, it's good having you back, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You certainly sound it.
So I have a question to start this week, Tom. Did anybody win the contest for the review yet?
I don't know. See, the thing is, that episode hasn't aired yet, where we threatened to give it away to Jackie Cation. So I think we need to go another week because everything's backwards in time.
Oh gosh. Oh god. Can we just Age of Ultron this, Wolverine, and just jump forward in the time stream? I really don't. Oh boy.
No event crossovers.
God. Sorry.
Don't worry about it. Well, how was everyone's week?
Good. Extremely nerdy this week. Lots of stuff came in the mail, and lots of stuff were purchased at my LCS.
I am quite possibly the least nerdy person in the universe right now.
Why's that? What'd you do? Sleep?
All I've pretty much done is go to work, sleep, and watch football ever since I've been on meds for Lyme disease. I'm so tired.
Lyme? You get bit by a tick or something?
I got bit on the ass by a tick, so let me tell you.
Is that what happened at Ren Fair?
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Should we jump into story time?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a few weeks. Catch us up.
It's been a few weeks, so let me catch everyone up. So, my birthday party was postponed because I had a kidney infection and I wanted to be able to drink at my birthday. The week before my birthday, I went on a hike, my birthday party, the postponed party. I went on a hike and I checked myself pretty thoroughly for ticks, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. So about a week later, I find a tick on my butt, and apparently I didn't check my butt. And it's been snacking away back there for about 5 days.
Oh,
and
that's a lot of Lyme disease.
I don't know if you've ever tried to remove a tick from your own ass. It's not easy, and I'm pretty flexible. So I finally get the tick off, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to observe this for a couple days, and then I go to Renaissance Festival, and I had breakfast, and I had 2 cups of mead, right when I first got there, because I was way behind in terms of alcoholism. And I was starting to think about lunch, because I'm like, I'm pretty hungry and I've had a lot to drink. Well, I've drank a lot fast.
And it's hot and you're walking around and sweating. It's easy to get dehydrated out there.
And I'm walking around, and then all of a sudden, up is not up anymore. And all I can, literally, I spent 2 hours just laying in various friend and coworkers' laps, because if I got up, I would throw up. And I was very confused because I have drank a lot more than that at fair before. I'd not gotten intoxicated. So my friends are finally kind of like, okay, this is really worse than average for Aaron. So they took me to the med check place, and
I love that 2 hours is your threshold for worse than average.
Well, because I guess they figured that I would sober up, because I process alcohol very quickly because I'm very tiny. So they figured that I would at least be sober enough to drink water and keep it down within 2 hours, I guess. So they take me to the first aid place, and the first aid place can't get a blood pressure, and they're like trying to like talk to me and stuff, and I'm like kind of out of it. And if my head goes up, I throw up, and then I pass out and I fall down, and it's great. So they decide to call an ambulance because my blood pressure was so low.
Oh my God.
Wow.
When they finally got it to register, it was 80/40.
That's
I have a question. When the ambulance showed up, did everybody at the Ren Fair, they're like, what is this vehicle, this conveyance that has rolled upon our fair?
So the Ren Fest is very smart. They know a lot of people get hurt and drunk there, I guess. So the med place is against one of the walls, and there's actually a gap behind the wall behind the med place. So they basically back the ambulance up to the first aid place, and then they just roll you out. So the ambulance gets there, and they test my blood sugar, and it's borderline low. It's like 63. Low is like 60. And
right on the line. Goodness.
Yeah. So they're like, all right. They give me when you're really low, they give you glucose paste, which is gross. It's like that toothpaste they give you when you're kids that doesn't have any minty flavor. It's just fruity flavor.
Ew.
It's exactly like that. So I did an entire tube. They waited a little bit. They took my blood sugar again, and it was 43. And they're like, yeah, that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, it's dropping even though they're administering blood sugar.
Exactly. So I got to go to the hospital. I got some IVs. They fixed me up. The next day, I look at my butt, and I've got a big, nice bullseye rash. So I go and I get tested because I completely forgot about the freaking tick because I was so much drama going on during the day. And then I go and the doctor's like, yep, this is probably Lyme disease. And so they put me on antibiotics that make me vomit. And then I found out 7 days later that it was in fact Lyme disease. And then they gave me, it's 30 days of antibiotics total. And they think that because when you're fighting off Lyme disease, it's pretty bad infection. It's pretty resilient. I guess they figured that my body was so taxed by that the alcohol and the dehydration and the running around and all that other shit just kind of threw it over.
Yeah, it spun you out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Well, happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
That sounds like a great Ren Fair.
Yeah, right? Like, my birthday overall was kind of, like, my entire birthday month just kind of sucked.
Welcome to 30.
I know.
You got to spend your 30th birthday pondering your own mortality.
I know. I did not think that I was going to survive till the end of September, but I'm glad to say that I did. So.
That's too soon.
Thanks. My next short-term life goal is to live to the end of the year. So
baby steps.
Baby steps.
That is a good goal.
I haven't been in the hospital in 2 weeks, so that's good for me.
Boy, oh boy. So, these could be collector's episodes, listeners. Like, these could be the last days.
Dude, the podcast is going to get big because I die.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and make all the Aaron episodes pay episodes.
I mean, the promoter in me is going crazy right now. Oh, my God. Can we get a countdown clock graphic going on? Oh, shit. Well, we're wishing you the best of luck. This feels weird.
Sure you are, assholes.
This feels so weird.
God, okay, do either of you guys read the comic Saturday Morning Breakfast Cereal?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, it's awesome. So there was an issue a couple days ago that was Halloween themed. I'm going to bring this to our actual theme. So basically the kid is dressed up in this like black robe, but instead of like a Grim Reaper robe, but instead of having a scythe, he has a feather in his hand. And somebody's like, oh, are you dressed as Death, little man? And he's like, no, Death has a scythe. I have a soft feather. I'm expectation of death. Is that headache a hemorrhage? Is that back pain a spinal infection? Is all the leftover candy you'll eat going to give you a heart attack? Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Jesus Christ.
So that reminded me of my life.
Oh.
How old is this child?
And WebMD. I don't know that his age is ever really given in the comic.
Boy, oh boy, that is grim.
Well,
that comic is amazing. Just linked it to you guys.
Awesome. I will check it out.
So maybe I did have something Halloween to contribute. I didn't think I would.
Speaking of Halloween, last weekend we went to a Halloween event put on by a local shopping plaza, and the boys won first place for their first cosplay contest. They didn't call it that, but I am.
Oh, God, we have a pageant dad, ladies and gentlemen. He's a pageant dad. Oh, boy.
Coming soon to TLC.
What do you call those, Bradgets?
I don't know. But yeah, my mother-in-law sewed Adam a knight costume, and we have a dragon one for Zachary, and between the two of them, they got third place in the costume contest for the under 3 category. And that got us $20 in gift certificates to that local shopping plaza, which then we foisted the children off on a babysitter today and went for a wonderful lunch with their cuteness, or earned on the back of their cuteness without them.
I was literally waiting for then we got ice cream and a pumpkin at the local shopping center with the money we won. No, we did the kids. And we spent it without them even knowing that could happen.
Yeah.
Father of the century.
Thank you. Their cuteness bought Daddy and Mommy a day away from them to...
I love it.
Yeah.
Honestly, a guy without hearing that, I love that.
That sounds like something I would do. That's like a new level of low. When I'm comparing you to me, that's an insult.
Cheers, friend.
Well, I can't say that my nerdy week was anywhere near as dire or as profitable as yours. But I did spend money and get a lot of shit in return. My loot crate came in this week. I got a bunch of awesome stuff for the Halloween theme that they did this month. T-shirt that I posted, the Ewalking Dead, which is like an internet meme that I've seen, and it got put on a shirt, which is great. But then they also sent me an actual book, which I really enjoy. The zombie survival guide or whatever that is.
Oh, right, from Max Brooks.
Yes, I read the first 35 pages or so, and it's actually really funny how straightforward and dry it is. Where he discusses if you're going to use a blade, you have to use a katana, and he breaks down why. And if you're going to use a short range blade, you best to go with the Roman gladius. However, a combat ready gladius replica is very rare indeed. I love that line so much. It stuck out with me so hard. And so I got that in the mail. Then my Halloween costume came in a few days previous to that. Got my Court of Owls mask. I'm ready to go. I have my suit together. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing a live podcast called Double Talk Radio, and I'm going to be dressed up in my Halloween costume. We're having a costume party live via webcam and live chat and all that good shit.
Nice.
So tune in to watch me get baked in costume. Yeah.
Well, speaking of costumes, and since I guess if you haven't noticed, we're doing a Halloween theme this week.
If we have to hit you over the head.
Yeah.
With it or whatever, guys.
Subtlety is definitely my strong suit.
So, speaking of costumes.
Growing up, did you have a favorite costume?
Yes, yeah. My favorite one my parents' favorite one is a skeleton that my dad did the face painting for, and they were very proud of that. My personal favorite, I was 9, and we went to an actual costume shop and got the full-on Bram Stoker's Dracula with the Eddie Munster,
nice.
The fake widow's peak that you put on your forehead, and the fangs and the fake blood and the thing that goes around your neck with the tassel and the jewel and all of that. And I still remember how great that costume was, because pretty much every year after I turned 12, once I got the notion of I can be horrible on this night and it's sort of accepted if I egg someone's house tonight.
Maybe not accepted, but they'll give you a pass.
Yes, I'll shake my fist.
See, if you're a female, they literally want you to be horrible. Pun theme.
Fun episode.
We'll get to all the slutty costumes later, I'm sure.
Costumes. Oh my god, I have something to contribute for that.
Yeah, what's yours?
We're discussing that later.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite one growing up?
A favorite costume?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I made a Dana Scully costume one one Halloween. That's the holiday. This is fucking
Was it like a
idiot.
suit? Was
And
it
I
like
wore
a
it to
suit
Thanksgiving dinner.
I'm trying to remember what I wore because I think I just wore like a skirt and a white shirt, under like a black skirt and a white button down, and then I had like I had a trench coat, and I made myself a little FBI badge, and then I had like a fake gun and fake handcuffs. So it was pretty awesome.
Cool.
Do you have a red hair wig?
She
I
has
have
red
hair. You met me, dumbass.
That's right. That's right. You have red hair.
So no, not necessary.
For me, my favorite growing up was my mom sewed a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Leonardo outfit, which consisted of a green full-piece jumpsuit with blue armbands, full face paint, and then she hand-stitched a pillow-like object for the back, but it was like a full-on shell that velcroed to your back so you could take it off and wash the outfit separately.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, pair that with some dollar store swords, and we were good to go.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
I probably got 3 years worth of use out of that one.
See, that's something I never did. I always wanted to have a different costume every year. I don't know why. Even if it was like the worst costume in the world, I wouldn't go back to one from the previous year. Like, I don't want to do that. I did that last year. But can you think of your worst costume? Like the one where it was just like, I genuinely just threw this together. You know, it was had a lot to do that year. Mine was definitely the soldier I was supposed to be, but instead it was more just like fatigue pajama legs, like pajama pants, a horrible fitting like oversized veteran's jacket, and a fake gun from Walmart that had like 7 different. It didn't have the gunshot sound effect. It was like, do you remember the ray guns where it would cycle through like?
Oh, one of them was like a bomb dropping.
yeah. So
that's terrible.
I'm a soldier, but I shoot sound effects. It's pretty great.
See, you could have been a comedy soldier because that would have been awesome.
Yeah, if I had owned it, but you're a kid and you want to be like cool.
You could have been
you
Police
weren't
Academy.
nearly as awesome a kid as I was. Okay, well, I mean, I suppose that stands to reason. Most people weren't.
Can
we discuss slutty costumes?
We'll get there.
So excited.
We will get there. I had one that was, most crappy looking was probably a Rite Aid version of Silverhawk. I really liked it though. But it was essentially just a trash bag with a molded like face mask, because that's what Rite Aid costumes in the 80s entailed of.
Yeah.
But probably laziest costume came somewhere in high school, where I just threw on my hockey jersey and a pair of rollerblades so that we could get from house to house as quick as possible.
That's funny. Because my parents were very frugal when I was growing up, so a lot of costumes were homemade, but I really liked them. Like we made, I was a Dalmatian one year, so my mom made me like felt ears, and then I had a white sweat outfit that she'd put like black spots on.
Oh, cute.
So I mean, they were cheap, but I loved them.
Yeah, my mom did a lot of sewing for ours too, but there was always a lot of love thrown into it, and
yeah.
The worst part was face painting. I could not sit still for that.
Oh, I didn't even, they didn't even try with me. No.
Yeah, that is the central point of most of the Halloween gone wrong stories in my family. You just couldn't sit still while we painted your face, and me and your father just started, it's just like, oh God. And, it's I'm glad it's a uniform thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone under 6 is, ADD.
Yeah, pretty much.
Continuing through childhood, any great trick-or-treat memories?
Oh, yeah. Tons of them. Let's see. The first one that comes to mind, and this is a little weird, and it's definitely a little reflective of the kind of kid I was.
Where were you touched? Show us on the doll.
Show us on the Chucky doll.
Oh, God, not the Chucky doll.
Again, I'm going to say it's interesting that you took it in that direction immediately.
I'm just saying, the way you started that out, it sounded a little suspicious.
I'm just a mirror, it seems, and you're holding up your stuff and just projecting your psychosis onto me.
Candy?
Candy. Is that what they're calling it now?
This is the sabotage segment. So, should I continue?
Yes, please.
Or the one that really comes to mind, I was 14 or 15. Mm-hmm. I had been smoking cigarettes for 2 years already. When you're a teenager and you smoke, every now and then you get a talk from an adult who also smokes, who started at that age. And this particular talk started in a townhouse development while we were trick-or-treating. And we've been drinking a little bit. This is, again, troubled youth shit here, ladies and gentlemen. Smoking, drinking, in costume, with my candy bag. We roll up to a house party. This, I'm going to say 32-year-old guy who is dressed as the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland.
Oh God.
Okay, and he's also a fat guy. All right. He's at the end of the driveway, and everybody's like in the garage playing beer pong, and he's like giving the candy out to everybody, and we're smoking, and he stops us, and he goes, "Guys, you really you need to stop smoking." And he gives us this talk, but you have to remember this man has full costume and face paint on, Cheshire Cat, smoking a cigarette himself. He's also drunk. And we're like 6 teenagers standing around, like looking down at our feet. Like, are we really getting this talk?
This lecture from a cat
on Halloween from the Cheshire Cat? What is happening right now? Like, didn't you smoke a hookah in the movie?
Nope, that was the caterpillar.
That was the caterpillar.
I'm just thinking that maybe that should have been assigned to you. Wow, if this guy tells me I'm doing it wrong, maybe I should listen.
Okay.
Everyone knows candy's a gateway drug.
But yeah, that's one. And this is my coup de grace. It's about the same age, 15, 16. All right. So the day before Halloween, we were playing football on the top of a hill in a neighborhood that we all like kind of met in. It's called the Meadows here in Centerville. Mm-hmm. And we were playing football, and my cousin, who was 2 months older than me, was there, which when you're exactly 2 months older than someone and they're your cousin, that means they're going to consider themselves older than you, and therefore they're going to be your bully, and he was mine. And I sprained my ankle, and in the process of spraining my ankle, he ran up and hit me with the, do you remember Ken Shamrock's move in the WWF, the ankle lock? Does anybody remember this? He hit me with the ankle.
No.
I sprained my ankle. I'm in genuine pain. He puts me in an ankle lock, further harming my leg. I go to the hospital the day before Halloween. I get put on crutches. And I said, fuck this. I'm still going trick-or-treating. On crutches I went, dressed as Casey from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. On crutches, which worked out, because it was like, yeah, I got in a fight or whatever. You play it off or however you do. But anyways, as the night...
Could have at least used a golf club for one of the crutches.
I had one. I had it. It was actually a hockey stick, which I had at the time.
That works.
Street hockey stick, technically speaking. So we end up at the same hilltop, where the football game started, at the end of our trick-or-treating, and we're also at the age where we're like trying to egg some houses or do some stuff. So we do that too, and we have one egg left. And we're like, who's going to get the egg? And I'm the asshole in the group, so I just took the egg and threw it down the hill without even thinking about it, right? And top of the hill to the road, I'm going to say 30 yards away, about 25 yards up in the air on elevation terms. I threw this egg, and it was in the air long enough for us to see this Crown Vic come around the corner. And it was like a mathematic perfection moment. Like everything just lined up. This egg sails through the sky. Boom! Splashes right on this dude's driver's side window. And it was so loud, it sounded like a gunshot because it was in the air for so long, it started to build up velocity. And this egg, it's an egg. So it splatters, and the guy like screeches like it's dramatic. No one else is on the road. He screeches for like 25 feet, like, ah! And we all are just like frozen with fear, like, I cannot believe that just hit. And then we all realize that he can get out of his car and chase us down. He then proceeds to do.
Wow.
No, you had mentioned it's a Crown Vic. Was this a cop?
No. It was not,
Thank God.
This was not a police officer because it made things a little bit easier when I had to run away on crutches. So I'm hobbling and I'm going so fast I have to use like one crutch. Sometimes I'm just hopping on my leg and I'm laughing so hard. There's just like, I don't know if I get caught, but if this is how I get caught, I'm fine with that because it was just so perfect. And I got a big bag of candy at the end of the night. And it's one of those moments where it's like, do you know the poster for when Batman jumps down the winding staircase and lands on the car and somebody broke down the math and science as to how that could happen? It just reminded me of that exactly. Like, so many things have to line up for that. Like, the random, like, I was literally...
What a crazy random happenstance.
I was having a tantrum almost. Like, you know what? What were we going to do with the last egg? This is what we're going to do with the last egg. I threw it, not thinking about it. And here
the only car on the road for 45 minutes.
Some guy trying to get cigarettes up the street with the Exxon just destroyed. It was so beautiful. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, so I was a really good kid. I was a very well-behaved kid.
Other side of
like, literally, I'm trying to think of anything that happened while I was trick-or-treating other than me knocking on the door and people giving me candy, and I just can't think of anything. Seriously, I was a very good kid.
So at least we can say you've had the most consecutive positive experiences door to door every Halloween. No problems. Everybody just answers and says yes, gives you candy, and it's good.
I never participated in Mischief Night either. It was... No, I didn't feel the need to.
Feel the need? What does that mean? Feel the need? It wasn't even a conscious thing. Like, I think when I saw The Crow when I was in 7th grade, it was like, the night before Halloween, we're going to fuck shit up. I was like, oh, that's a thing? Oh, shit!
Yeah, I saw The Crow and was like, that's awful. People that go out the night before Halloween get murdered.
Well,
I don't know. I just remember because the guy that lived next door to us, he was a drug dealer. So there was always like crazy shit happening at his house and stuff. Like he would get robbed all the time.
He had the best rock candy.
We're now getting to the root of why you didn't go out for Halloween.
No, I went out. I mean, my parents always walk with me though because there were drug dealers in our neighborhood. But I mean,
pretty cool.
Because like so much crazy stuff happened there that I didn't want crazy stuff in my life circle.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's see. For me, I lost a knife that I got at Disney World one year, and still to this day can't remember to keep my accessories simple. Another year, it was when we were living in Cleveland, and it was too snowy to go trick-or-treating.
Aww.
So we hit up 3 houses on the way to pick up my friend, and we went to see Rudy instead.
Oh my God. That actually reminds me of a year here when in Virginia, we had one of those like weird like Arctic cold fronts come in way too early.
Yeah.
And no one knew it was going to happen. So it just kind of like happened the day of Halloween. So what you got was like people who had no idea the weather was going to be freezing and like leggings and costumes. Just like coming to the like trick or treat, and like it's like I didn't realize the Mummy wore starter jackets. Like this is the '90s, the early '90s. I'm just time stamping a little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody had a.
I think you did that just by saying starter jacket.
Yeah. That's right. Yes. So and Jordache and Body Glove and whatever other brand from the early '90s. You want to name Bugle Boy was in there somewhere. But yeah, that's one of my favorite when nobody expects things to like be like conditionally bad. Like if it rains one night and like you're so far away from your house, it's like, well, I guess I'm gonna be the clown with the tear makeup this year.
But my best trick-or-treat memory was the first year that we moved to Delaware. We set up a whole thing in our yard, like a haunted maze that went back through the garage and whatnot, that had some dead ends and some bats hanging down from the ceiling and other things to jump out at people. And so it was a good way to meet some of the other kids in the neighborhood.
Well, yeah, I think Halloween is definitely one of those things, especially like when your parents start letting you like not like you don't have to be with your parents and you form like a group of kids and it becomes like a I'm not going to say a gang, but it's definitely a sort of like a mini mob.
Yeah.
And it's, social or not social. I think like, if you have a badass enough costume, people are just like, okay, you're in. So, I like the holiday quite a bit. I mean, the one thing I really thought from the start as a kid was like the lamest thing about the holiday was the turn the lights off and put your hand in this party that like the lamest of lame Halloween party had every year. put your hand in the spaghetti. It's brains. Put your hand in these peeled grapes. It's eyes.
It's a part of growing up. We all did it.
I did it one time, and it was like it was the one. It felt very much like church when I started to think on my own, where it was like, oh God, there's like people are actually into this kind of thing. Now I have to
No,
wash.
you only have to do it once.
It's like thanks. Now I have to wash my hands. I wasn't expecting that. Whoa, that was scary. Might get E. coli. Watch out.
Ew. Oh, God. Putting my hands in random crap. I don't like being dirty. I'm really weird.
Yeah, we got that from your ragging on people for not taking showers episode 20 times.
No, because I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh my God, I'm trick-or-treating at somebody's house and my hands are dirty. What am I going to do?
Well, yeah, I actually get that. Like, I was at a house I didn't want to be at in the first place. Like, I don't like your son, and I don't like you, weird mom, and I don't want to put my hand in your weird shit.
Well, lucky for you, we're giving out Purell for
Now, that's another thing. Did you guys have a dentist in your neighborhood? I always have a dentist in my neighborhood.
There was always one apple giver
or floss or toothbrush. It's like, I had a toothbrush one year. I was like, we're egging his house for sure. Holy shit, a toothbrush. He's some kind of maniac. But the one guy, like, this is actually the root of all of my nerdery. When I was 4 years old, a guy in my first single-family home neighborhood in Northern Virginia made his own comic books, and like a small press kind of guy, I guess, and he handed out copies of his comic books to all of the kids.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
This is the greatest thing ever. And I just remember thinking of that guy like, you're the smartest person I've ever met. You're 4 years old, and it's like, wait, you made this? You're
nice.
You're a genius.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and I still remember that to this day, and it's like, that guy is probably single-handedly responsible for my comic book love.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, your cold weather story reminded me of a party that I went to in college, where it was also very cold. And we are now moving into the territory that Aaron's been looking forward to, is the
nice
adult costumes. As this was Allentown, Pennsylvania, up in the foothills of the Poconos.
Yes, decent elevation out there.
Yeah. Of course, the realm of adult parties is the realm of the slutty costumes. But one year, it was a really cold front coming through, and so we were treated to a couple slutty Eskimos who had on short skirts, but then Ugg boots to stay warm.
Did they have 100 different words for snow? I'm sorry, that's an Eskimo joke, you guys.
It is, and we discussed this when did we discuss 100 different words for snow? I don't remember. Anyway.
But yeah, that's a thing that I've actually wondered about since my teenage years. Like, when for like a girl do you notice, Aaron, like people going from a costume to like basically just like lingerie? Like, well, what is the age that starts to happen?
It's starting younger and younger. I actually, one of the things that I was going to bring up for slutty costumes is that Walmart has a quote-unquote naughty leopard costume that's in toddler sizes.
Oh, God!
What? Oh, no.
Oh, that is borderline, like, deep internet content.
It's not really that scandalous. I mean, it really can't be when you're a toddler, but
it's the idea.
They call it.
Well, no, see, there it's cute, but then it's the type of thing that you just keep wearing until you grow out of the top.
Well, no. So what I'm thinking is you get the naughty leopard costume when you're a toddler, and by the time you're like 11, it's really skanky because it's so tight and revealing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, like, what it is. Like, one, like, it's like, in a way, I don't mind it, because it's like, at the end, like, if I'm faced with it as a guy, it's like, well, yeah, you debased yourself, but, yeah, I don't know. But it does seem like, why does every girl have to do it? It's just an excuse to get slutty. I mean, it seems like it's just the thing. There's no other alternative once you're an adult woman other than to dress like a slut.
So speaking from experience, if you go out to a club and you're dressed like a slut, and I'm sure that we're probably going to get complaints about this because I'm a female and I shouldn't be calling girls dressed like a slut, but whatever, go fuck yourselves. you get judged. Like if you go out and you're wearing a tube top and a mini skirt, people talk about you. They call you a slut. They call you a hoe. They call you a hooker. You know, they talk about you behind your back and shit. They don't respect you. But if you do that on Halloween, like that is the socially acceptable day to skank it up. That is the only day where you can dress whatever the fuck you want, and all the other girls are going to be out there dressed like sluts. That said, I don't think that I personally have worn anything revealing in years. And honestly, I think there was only maybe 2 or 3 Halloweens that I dressed in such a fashion. Now, that again, there was this whole phase in college when I hung out with the anime club and I basically dressed like an anime fetish object for like a year. But yeah, no, who's counting? Everybody made mistakes in college.
We don't want attention when we're young. This is fine.
Now, last year you had come up with a blog article on more, I don't know, midriff accessible costumes for geek girls to wear.
Did I? I think you're thinking about Brie.
Is this
no?
Just based on what you said, is this like if you want to show a little bit but also could be totally respectable in the process kind of deal?
I was just trying to say more conservative. No, you'd asked me for like last minute ideas that you could throw together for like Han Solo and whatnot. Oh, well, no, the cross. Yeah, never mind.
I did crossplay. Which, I mean, that is a very good way to be more modest, because if you crossplay as Doctor Who, you can basically wear, you know, a lady's business suit or goth yourself out if you want to be 9. And that's a cool costume, and it's not particularly revealing. I don't judge people for dressing revealingly, whether it be costumes on Halloween or at cons or what have you. I know that a lot of people do. I don't know. I like getting attention because I'm awesome and not because my boobs are hanging out. And so, yeah.
Well, probably the worst one that I have ever seen was the slutty My Little Pony costumes.
My Little Pony's skinship is magic. I'm trying to think for the title here.
No. Oh, you guys, you're terrible.
I'm looking at it now, and it's like, yeah, basically this is like, we're a couple steps away from it just being like, brazzers.
Oh my god, I saw somebody that was dressed as a burlesque My Little Pony. Oh my god, gotta get on Google. How do you spell there it is, okay.
Oh, while she's looking that up, I've got one more embarrassing story from probably 7th, 8th grade, somewhere around in there.
Yeah.
We were going to a haunted mansion. I don't know if you guys did that much or at all, but one of those like cornfield mazes and...
Yes, sure.
Yeah. There was one girl there that was super freaked out. Just the whole experience was just beyond, for her. And, of course, the participants there could tell that she was freaked out beyond all belief. One of them came up to me and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, what's that girl's name?" So, that's Holly. And so they took upon themselves to then, every time that she came around the corner, just like,
oh holy fuck. Oh, holy fuck.
She was beyond scared the entire
blood.
time.
They smelled blood.
Yes.
Fresh fish.
So she was beyond all freaked out and was super scared the whole way through. And they got out. And we finally got out the other end. And she was nervously laughing off the whole experience. Was like, "Oh, that was really scary. But I'm just wondering, how did they know my name?" And I was like, "Oh, I told them." And she didn't have the best reactions, or maybe she did have the best reactions, but without even thinking, immediately turned around and kicked me in the balls.
Oh, yeah. I actually was that guy when I was like 9 years old. My family, my cousin, my bully cousin, took me to one of these things, and he didn't tell me that it was one of those ones, like it was like they were right next to you and they would basically chase after you and like lunge at you and shit like that. Like I thought we were going to like a haunted mansion, like Universal Studios-esque, like we're going to go on a hayride and there's going to be creepy looking things. They didn't tell me that the centerpiece of the entire haunted forest was like a guy with a chainsaw that was on. It didn't have a blade, but it was totally on, and it was loud, and I'm 9.
Yeah.
And he's got fucking fake blood all over him. He's chasing after us, and like it was literally like I ran as fast as I could and for my life to the car. Like, it circled around, and the entrance was also the exit at the top of the hill. And I ran past my friends. I ran past my family. I ran straight to the car, and I was like the car was locked, and I was like trying to get in like a cartoon or like a sitcom. Like, come on, open the door. Like, I was so fucking freaked out because I didn't know that was even a thing as like a little kid. Like, there's a whole industry for people who enjoy that kind of shit. So it's like, oh God, all of the horrible things from the horror movies are real, and it's right here.
And you didn't know that, they would get sued if there was an actual blade on that or actually hurt anybody.
Right,
but
you know what I mean? It's like this particular haunted forest, I feel like they took it way too serious. Like, they had like people hanging from nooses, and there was like stippled blood. It was like authentic. And there was a guy, I'll never forget this. There was a guy that you walk past, and he has a woman in a glass case who has been hacked to pieces. There's a pool of blood. Her head's over like on one side. There's like the torso's on the other. And he goes, "You want to get a picture with my girlfriend?" It's like, get me out of here. What's happening? It was so fucking terrifying.
I think Kate would be into that, actually. There was a new Halloween store near our house that opened up, and just for shits and giggles, she applied for a part-time job there. Didn't get a call back because apparently they don't like people that go to college. But
wow.
Yeah, that's like the job where if you graduate high school, they'll tell you, well, you're just a little overqualified for this job. That's all. It's not that we don't want you here.
Do you have any adult costumes that or in your adulthood, any costumes that you've put together you've been super proud of?
I'm going to be honest, in my adult years, I haven't been that active, but my most proud one was probably the Halloween DJ gig that I got, where me and my buddy both had shaved heads, and we went as English monks with like, like the friar like ropes hanging off the side of the robes and all that shit. And we were bald, and we fucking killed the party. So, everybody was just like, they're monks. So like, I guess like, how like if there were a priest at a party, you would be inclined to get them fucked up.
Yeah.
That was totally happening to me. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So that was a really good Halloween. I was probably 20 at the time.
Nice.
Thanks, Atlanta.
We still did Halloween parties, huge in Los Angeles for whatever reason. And out there, they also like their pop culture or present news story costumes.
Right. Like they're like mashup costumes.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah. And like I had one. Like, let me see if this is right. Like, fat Filipino Wolverine equals Fulverine. I
wasn't going to go with that. It was more along the lines of there was an officially licensed one called Malibu Maniac, and it was basically a Charlie Sheen get up around the time that all of his antics were going to.
I get it. A Halloween costume that is in and of itself a pop reference.
Yes.
Aha. Like when Jeff Ross dressed as Joe Paterno and had Penn State students with him at the roast of, was that Oh, God.
Yeah, and I'm sure this year Halloween stores are getting their money's worth repackaging old Beetlejuice costumes to make a Miley Cyrus Robin Thicke mashup or couple costume.
Have you seen the Slutty Heisenberg costume?
Yeah,
No.
you sent me a link of it in the chat.
Oh, that's right. I said that already.
I'm not sure if I'm for it or against it. Like,
So
I enjoy it. Like, just like as a guy and a fan of Breaking Bad, like if I had to choose a person to hook up with at a party,
it would be Slutty Heisenberg.
it would be Slutty Heisenberg, and my line would be, "It's time to cook."
Oh God, get that bitch in the kitchen.
That's awful.
You have a mediocre sex session, and you're like, "The product is not sufficient. We need to do it again."
97% or above.
97% accuracy or nothing.
I actually saw on Reddit somebody that did the Miley Cyrus VMA performance. They did crossplay, so the guy was dressed as Miley and the chick was dressed as Beetlejuice. It was pretty funny because the guy was really hairy.
Oh boy. I'm kind of surfing for more memories, and I don't know if I'm tapped out or not. You have to fish some stuff out of me, man.
For me, I threw together all of my Ren Fair costumes one year, did knight gear, the pirate gear, ranger, cavalier, all that shit, and went as an anachronism.
That's pretty awesome.
That's such a heady costume. I'm an
Welcome to Los Angeles.
The one that I did that was inspired because I had a gigantic crush on Christina Ricci because we're pretty much the exact same age to like the month, I think. Mm-hmm. When she was Wednesday Addams, I was like 8 years old. And they're like, do you remember in the Addams Family movie? They're like, what are you this year for Halloween? I'm a serial killer. They look just like you and me. That line, I was like, that's genius. Hot
that
girl.
Is genius.
So... yeah, I actually used that a couple times in my adult life, and people were like, okay, that's the weird guy that'll flip out at work one day.
Aaron, did you have a favorite adult costume?
Wow, those two that I just discussed were pretty awesome.
Yeah, I said we are circling.
I meant personally.
Oh, personally? Oh, fuck, I'm out of it. I was looking at Sexy Bert and Sexy Ernie. I'm so very, very confused by this right now. That
One track mind.
I'm like, why my childhood? Anyway, titties. No, I don't really. No, I can think of 4 Halloween costumes that I've wore, and they were my Renaissance Fair costume, a lion from Lion King, Dalmatian, and Dana Scully. That's like it.
Well, fair enough. Admittedly, this isn't your favorite holiday.
No, you will never guess what my favorite holiday is.
President's Day.
No, well, I'm not that lame.
Columbus Day.
It's one of those things that's really fitting once you hear it.
Labor Day?
No.
Bastille Day. Boxing Day?
That's
I'm
Canada.
Not Canadian.
Or Australian.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. It's a mystery, and if you can guess it, you can win a copy of Rat Queens. Started by Curtis Weave and Brock. What's his face?
Always promoting. Thank you.
Wow.
No, fire away.
4th of July.
Really?
Yeah.
That totally makes sense.
I know!
Never guess my obscure favorite holiday.
There's booze and food and nobody ever says their favorite holiday is 4th of July. It's always Halloween or Christmas or Thanksgiving.
I beg to differ. I have a 4th of July story where I was a patsy for a person to unload on me who apparently this was the most important day to him in his whole life. Just real quick, they were setting off fireworks in a hotel parking lot, and they thought I was the guy who ratted on them, but it was somebody in the hotel. I was just out there watching, and then this guy fucking walks up to me. I'm in Anderson, South Carolina, which is also where they filmed Radio, and where the true story of Radio, starring Cuba Gooding Jr., is set. Bit of trivia. He walks up to me, and he goes, you know what, motherfucker? That's about the most un-American thing I ever seen in my life. I was like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Please don't mouth rape me. Please don't rape me. But yeah, that's 4th of July, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we're pretty big on the Halloween in this house. In fact,
I love it. Yes.
The last mega party that we threw was our last year in Los Angeles. It was an all-day Halloween house party. We had planned a ton of events ranging from the typical, a costume contest, board games, pin the stake on the vampire.
Oh, that's good.
to more fun activities like pirate fencing, where I got dressed up in a pirate outfit and fenced, and to give people an advantage, wore an eye patch. We had set up our second TV with hooked the Wii up to it and had a Resident Evil high score challenge.
Oh, that's good.
All of these events, we had individual prizes for whoever came in first, and you got a group total of points throughout the day, with the grand prize winner winning a trophy at the end of the night. We shot video for that. Maybe I'll put together a little video for this episode to go out
Mom, you totally should.
I will try, but I still have footage to edit together from Baltimore Comic-Con and from the Ren Fair.
Yeah. We'll put that out when our summer movie roundup comes out.
First week of Christmas.
Yeah!
My favorite event of the day, though, had to have been the Werewolf Silver Bullet Challenge, which we bought an airsoft pistol. It was a time challenge. You do a shot of tequila, pick up your gun. We had targets set up. You knock down 3 targets with the pistol, change out the clip, do another shot, and then knock them down again.
Wow, that's real safe.
All I can hear in my head right now is a Kyle Kinane joke. Just because you pound silver bullets and wake up on the lawn naked at night doesn't mean you're turning into a werewolf, bro. Kyle Kinane.
And we had also set up a Zombieland obstacle course.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a obstacle course based off of all of the rules that they published within Zombieland.
Did the internet lampoon you for your casting choices?
Oh, that's a good callback. I really liked that Zombieland TV show.
Oh, boy. Now, here's a question. What's your Halloween go-to movies? Like, you have to play them, like, around the Halloween time, if not on the night.
Well, there's so many. You can break it down into your classics with your Universal monsters, thrillers with your classic Jasons and Freddys, zombie movies, shitty movies, funny movies.
Just horror. No, like, don't even think about it. Just throw one out there.
Favorite horror movie. As much as I shit on Zack Snyder, I do enjoy his Dawn of the Dead.
Yes, absolutely. That is a really intense movie, and it's still good for people who haven't seen it before. Dude, I'm sorry, but I think that movie's better than the original.
I loathe you both.
Why? Did I take yours?
No, because, okay, I am the person who did a 35-page freaking film thesis on George Romero's zombie flicks. He is the only one who can make a zombie flick, and whoever it was that made Shaun of the Dead, and whoever it was that made Zombieland. That's it. The rest of y'all fuckers can go fuck home.
Disagree. George Romero's the guy that had an idea. Sorry. Sorry.
I think them's fighting words.
My bad.
Erin lives within driving distance of you. She will stake you.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan.
So, can you tell me where you live, just for reasons?
Well, we know where you stand, Erin. I gotta go with It, which is like you can just leave it on all night.
Yeah.
And actually, I've been putting it on Halloween for so long. I remember when it was the 3-tape VHS, like, this tape has ended.
Please flip over to side 2. Oh, wait.
God.
Oh, Jesus Christ. By the time they turn him into a spider and rip his heart out, you're on like 500 feet of tape. It's insane. But yeah, that's my go-to, and it's also the person that put it on for the first time. We watched not Invasion of the Body Snatchers. What's the one? Invasion of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Where they, I
don't think there's invasion in that title. I think it's just Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
That movie is the genesis of my fear of clowns, and then we watched it right after that.
Oh, it was a theme night, was it?
The big brother of the kid whose party it was waited for it to get to the part where the kid had his arms ripped off right at the beginning, and he fucking bangs on the window in a Pennywise mask, and one kid cried himself into hysteria. It was like, do you remember that scene in Roger Rabbit where they're like, "Stop laughing! You're gonna die laughing!" Like
that, but fear tears.
It was like that. Yeah, right. Exactly. He could not stop. He couldn't stop. It was like, you're gonna give yourself a cardiac arrest, kid. But yeah, like that movie right there, and for that particular prank has a significance to me. Like, that took timing. This dude knew what he was doing.
I think the classic horror movies, not like the Universal monsters, but any of your Friday the 13th or Halloween's.
Ooh, I don't know about any of them.
I'm sorry, the first one of each of those. Like you could do a playlist of. Yeah. Oh,
by the way,
I've got to look this thing up. There was somebody that came up with a mathematical formula to predict the body count in a given horror movie.
What? I need to see this.
Yeah, give me a couple seconds so I can look this up.
While you're doing that bit of trivia, I believe it was the first Friday the 13th that Johnny Depp made his on-screen debut, which was then followed by Platoon in 1989, and then he was just straight up famous. So, Johnny Depp totally gets eaten by a bed, and then a fountain of pig's blood shoots up from the bed and just covers the whole.
I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies.
Original's badass.
There is a whole factor here and a whole article going on, but I will just read you out the formula. B, being the approximate on-screen body count, equals 2n, n the number of the installment of the series.
Oh boy. Okay.
Plus 12 bracket Z minus R. Z, zombie factor, i.e. the film is directed by rock and roll schlock amateur Rob Zombie. 1 for yes, 0 for no. R, is the film part of a reboot? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Plus 2C, the number of colons in the title. Let me see if I can find an example of...
I believe that's Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Yeah. By the way, Halloween 3 has nothing to do with the first two Halloween movies. No Mike Myers, none of that. It's actually about a guy who sells masks that cause people to go crazy, and at the end, all of the kids die.
Plus 2S, does the film take place in outer space? 1 for yes, 0 for no.
Oh God, Jason in space, everybody, never forget the tragedy.
Plus 3. So here's a few examples. The Seed of Chucky is the 5th and so far final Child's Play film. Oh, well, this was a couple years old. I think there's another one this year. Giving it an N, which is the number of the installment series of 5. It's neither a reboot, a film directed by Rob Zombie, an installment with colons in the title, nor a chapter in outer space. So Seed's body count is 2 times 5 plus 3, a predicted count of 13. Whereas Halloween H2O 20 years later is Halloween's first reboot. It ignores the storylines developed in Halloween films, part 3 through 6.
So bad.
And the 7th installment in the franchise, and 7R1. It has 1 colon in the title, is not directed by Zombie, and does not take place in space, so the predicted body count is 7, which, if one counts the paramedic accidentally decapitated by protagonist Laurie Strode, is indeed the death toll.
Wow, I have to apply that to a couple movies that I watched.
Run the formula. Have fun with it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have fun with that. I'm gonna see, and what they add up to as well. Because there are certain ones that could sound like there's going to be a high body count, but like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, which is one of the worst, most favorite movies I've ever seen. Barely anybody dies in that movie. It's just really fucking wrong. Just everything in the movie is just wrong. And not a lot of people die. Like this, or The Skin I Live In, the scariest movie I've ever seen. The Spanish horror movie starring Antonio Banderas, which if you really genuinely want to scare yourself on Halloween and don't mind subtitles, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. You will not be able to sleep. It is genuinely disturbing. Like, I don't think anyone actually dies. It's just super scary.
Well, then that would be an outlier on this particular one.
Yeah, an anomaly, I guess. Oh, but so many great horror movie choices. Like, what's your actual, like, the scariest, the one that really scared you the most, even if it's lame or, like, you were young at the time? Like, which one really messed you up?
I was never into the scary genre. I never really bought into it. So probably the because I was young, the scariest thing that I ever saw might have been Wizard of Oz.
Oh, that actually makes sense. It's a pretty aggressively scary movie if you're a little kid.
Especially if you're little.
It was probably in the 4 or 5 range when I first saw it.
I don't think it would be a horror film for me. It would probably be like one of the films that makes you think too much. I mean, something like Butterfly Effect or Minority
Black Swan
Report
or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Requiem for a Dream to me is like.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
Like genuinely horrific, but not a second of scary stuff on screen.
I am the only one that I know that can rewatch that movie pretty much any time. Like most people that I know, they've seen it once. They wish they could watch it again because it was brilliant, but it's just so fucking depressive.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I feel about the movie United 93. It's like, all right, I saw it, can't ever watch it again. We're good.
Yeah, exactly.
No, films like that, I have a once-a-year policy, and really it's anything in that genre of anything that's really intense or really makes you feel. So it can either be once a year I can watch either, Requiem for a Dream or Sunshine, or but not all of them.
All right, well then don't go see Captain Phillips.
What was the movie? I cried at that movie. I shouldn't say that on this podcast. Oh my god.
Oh no, you might show weakness. Oh, get over yourself.
Well, By the way, Captain Phillips, directed by the guy that did United 93, which is like, I'm just going to make a movie every 5 years that makes you almost vomit.
K-Pax, that's another one.
Real? K-Pax is in that category?
What is the name of the movie that has Robin Williams and...
What Dreams Make Us?
Yes!
Yes.
Oh my God.
I knew what you were going to say.
Mike Sains in -1.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Leonard Maltin game, right? That was the Leonard Maltin game reference? Yes. But yeah, that's a really good movie that is sort of like, if you go back and revisit it, plagued by mid-90s special effects. Really good movie, really gut-wrenching, but God, does it not hold up? The special effects, it's like, oh, it's totally removed now. I don't feel what I used to feel.
We're a big fan of the campy ones, too, like the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie or Lost Boys or...
Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, like... has been overshadowed by the series. I feel like that movie is genuinely fun.
Yeah.
Really, really, really fun. And it's totally different, I feel like, from the Whedon series. Like, Whedon really made it his own. Dude, The Lost Boys? Quintessential Halloween viewing, my friend.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, I can hear the song in my head in the
Thou
clouds.
shalt not.
I can see the clouds that they film, like, as like the vampires flying. That's not rice. Look down. It's maggots. Ha-ha! I'm going to jump off this bridge.
Did you see the second or third one?
No. Why would I do that?
High penchant for self-abuse.
Kiefer Sutherland really needed money at that point.
Well, we've been going about an hour now. So real quick, let's wrap up our Halloween discussion with real quick favorite Halloween candy.
Ooh, this is a Sophie's Choice moment all of a sudden right now.
You can give me like a top three or a general. Do you like something chocolatey? Do you like something sweet?
I think like all three of mine involve chocolate for sure. The really sweet stuff I've never really been able to handle unless it's sour candy.
Oh, Sour Patch Kids definitely makes my top three.
Yeah, even Warheads. Like, it's like one of those candies like, why do I do this to myself? It's so good.
Because the sweet after the sour is just so tasty.
It's so delicious. But if you eat 5, your tongue is like totally burned out for a week. Let's see. If I had to go favorite, you gotta go with the tried and trues. Your Twix, Kit Kat.
I'm a Snickers man myself.
Yes, Snickers. Like, if somebody gives you a full-size Snickers, leave money in their mailbox.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, totally. That person, the people, if you're listening to this and you give full-size candy bars, you're my favorite person in the whole... Like, you went the extra mile, and it's usually a single guy that does that. Like, I always was aware of that. Like, oh, he's divorced. So, like, this is, like, his thing. Like, yeah, I'm the cool guy, kids. Just full-size candy bars. I spent...
My mom does that now, but I think it's because when I was little, she would make little, like, bags. She was one of those houses that gave out the bags, and she's like, this is too much like fucking work, and the kids like it more when I give them big candy bars. So then,
this is a good
if you have a Costco membership, it's cheaper to give the big candy than going to the grocery store and getting the little candy.
Oh, yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
I think I would have to put Twizzler in there, but not really. Not really.
I think I enjoyed the Halloween Twizzler, like, triple thick but like 3 inches long Halloween candy more than the actual Twizzlers.
Hell yeah, those are so good. Like, they had like the extra cherry flavor.
Yep.
Oh, so good. Another underrated thing that you're totally not supposed to eat, but the flavored wax lips for Halloween.
Oh my god! Do you remember the bottles, the wax bottles that had the
yes.
in them? Oh my!
You twist it off. There's a little bit of sweet sugary soda in it. Oh yeah.
I wish these were around when we were kids, but I think my favorite bar candy at this point is the Take 5.
Yeah.
Have you tried that? It's pretzels, caramel, peanuts, peanut butter, and covered in chocolate.
Yeah, somebody just got real baked and was like, tell me what you want. Because it's the perfect candy bar. I mean, it might as well have bacon wrapped around it or something. Which, now that I just said that...
That sounds delicious.
Chocolate covered bacon.
Oh, it's so good.
Holy shit, I'm about to die of a heart attack tonight, you guys.
And Swedish Fish definitely makes my list, too.
That's a good choice. And it's only a candy I eat if I'm at, like, the movies or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I always want the Swedish fish when somebody has one. One that nobody ever really knows about, but it's the candy bar with the longest name in candy history, the whatchamacallit.
Yes.
Love that candy bar. It's like a giant peanut butter wafer. So good. But yeah, I can't really pick a favorite. I can't do that, but like pretty much everything revolves around chocolate, peanut butter, and some kind of like rice cracker in it.
Aaron?
I'm actually been thinking about this the entire time you were discussing because it's really hard for me because I'm allergic to milk. Because I'm allergic to milk, I don't consume milk a lot, so I'm extremely lactose intolerant, and a lot of candy has a lot of lactose in it. So literally, if I have a Snickers bar, I need to have 2 Benadryl and 2 Lactaid.
Wow.
Oh man.
I'm guessing most of your answers are somewhere in like the Jawbreaker, Jolly Rancher family.
I was going to say Jolly Rancher, Skittles, that kind of deal.
When I was a kid, but most of that stuff is too sweet for me nowadays because I don't have a lot of desserts and shit are all dairy, so I don't have a lot of that.
Yeah.
So most candy is so fucking sweet that like I can't.
I agree. It's too sweet.
Yes.
It's like you're just.
Your teeth hurt when you're done.
Yeah, my teeth genuinely do hurt.
The only candy that is worth that much effort for me is a fucking Snickers bar. Not gonna go through 4 pills that cost a fortune to friggin' eat something crappy.
Amen. I think Swedish fish definitely. I can still eat those in bulk and not have the too sweet sensation.
For some reason, I can't get the image of a Peep out of my head, which is the worst candy in the world.
Oh, I disagree.
Oh, God. We're talking about candy that makes your teeth hurt, and I just imagine biting into a Peep, and it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. Oh, God. Just dentist trip the day after.
Mike and Ike's, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, wow. Mike and Ike's. Deep pull here, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Mike and Ike's. Do you remember...
Fuck you, good and plenty. I don't want that shit.
Good and plenty's, yes! Yes!
Dude, I want a clip of just you saying, fuck me, good and plenty.
That used to be a thing when I was a kid. I've always been a little chubby, and my thing was, if I were a candy, I'd be a good and plenty.
We run that back to back with, Cumberbatch.
Oh, Cumberbatch.
Yeah, that one. I think that's going to wrap up our Halloween discussion. Ready to head into nerd tweets?
Yeah, they're probably just going to be more funny tweets than anything else this week, you guys.
I'm going to duck out and go to bed because I don't have any tweets.
Fair enough. Thanks for joining us again.
Bye, Aaron.
Bye.
Bye. Where's the fucking disconnect button? Oh, there it is. I'm smart.
Plump, plump. From Tasha Madam at Tashi P. I really don't think scientists are treating this whole creating a real-life dragon thing with the seriousness it deserves.
This is a reference for 90s kids, you guys. And this is my tweet. I know.
It's all right.
At Mike Sains, the Velociraptor. I can't even read it.
Was it too funny?
I like to think that my old Jinko jeans are housing indigent families somewhere, like some kind of early 90s denim tube city.
I wish Jinko jeans were still popular because I would wear the shit out of them.
Oh my God, dude. Like, I can still remember the pair with the kangaroo hanging out of the pocket. Like, those were one of my favorite pair of pants.
You know, I finally get rappers and arguing over the length of their chains that they wear around their neck because I did the same size with circumference of jeans. What? Yeah. I'm rocking 26 inches today, bitch.
Didn't they make 54s?
Yeah, at one point they did.
Oh my God.
I think that's when the trend started to head out the door.
All right, you guys.
Less is more. Less is more.
Chill out here.
It's just a dress at this point.
What else you got, Sarah?
From Joss Whedon. Marvel said I could add more comic book faves to Avengers 2, but they nixed my Beast Boy / Knives Chow dance-off, so what's the point?
All right. From at Wiener Dog for Life.
Snorkel Hula Hua.
That's Wiener Dog number 4 life. I love these. It's like a tweet that it just forces you to picture something. Keanu Reeves watching a Keanu Reeves movie trying to figure out how he's in two places at once.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Was that part of the tweet? I didn't want to steal your ending.
No. I just love that so much.
This one's in our list format from Try the Veal at Tyler Lincoln. 1. Rent storage unit. 2. Procure 3 bodies at morgue. 3. Place bodies in storage unit. 4. Stop making payments. 5. Wait. Best storage wars ever.
All right. Now, this is just a tweet from, because it's so great, from one of my favorite people, not just tweeters, but people in the whole world, at Eddie Pepitone, the bitter Buddha.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite reoccurring Twitter theme right here, ladies and gentlemen. And I got to do it in his voice. So, good cop, bad cop. My partner wants to jump on your face with spikes. I want to show you how to set boundaries. You make the call. I just love Eddie so much. I feel like he's like the guy that, like, if I ever wanted to know what I'm going to be like by the time I'm his age, that's the guy.
From Geneva Rice, are you carving a pumpkin for fun or to serve as a warning to other pumpkins? Be honest. It's not the greatest one, but I wanted to get in a Halloween-themed one there at some point.
Yeah, I totally had some Halloween-themed stuff. Where's Matt Oswald? At Puddin' Strip, Mr. Matt Oswald, younger brother of Patton. Anyone know what time It's the Great Genocidal Maniac Charlie Brown is playing tonight?
Oh, God.
Yes, he brings a particular flavor of funny.
Saw the most epic, Linus painting. This painting was Linus standing victoriously in a pumpkin patch, possessed by the demonic spirit of the Great Pumpkin, who had finally heard the boys' call. The Peanuts gang would pay for their lack of faith. But first, candy.
Yeah, we got to include that in the episode art.
Yeah.
I'm actually a really big Peanuts and Charlie Brown fan in general.
Yeah, it's the Great Pumpkin. Charlie Brown is definitely a yearly view.
Yeah, all of them are a yearly view, and the Thanksgiving one is so consistently underrated. I can't stand it. I love the turkey episode, and it's got some of the best music, and it's you wouldn't know it if you heard it. Yeah.
I got to put a plug out there. There is a great DVD box set. It is the Peanuts Holiday Collection, which is Christmas, Halloween, and Thanksgiving episodes, and each one also has another one that did not air or is newer. Packaged with it, so you'll get
I have to ask, is Columbus Day in the holiday pack?
No, this is just those 3 holidays.
Okay, because Charlie Brown totally has a Columbus Day one, right?
He's got a Columbus Day one. He's got Victory in Europe. It's
oh wow, he's got VE Day.
Yeah, there's a whole. They go on. Some of them are better than others. I won't lie.
He's got Labor Day Charlie Brown, where he's a union organizer and the corporation slings him up and then they riot.
It's the Great Depression, Charlie Brown.
It's the Great Labor Riot, Charlie Brown.
Oh. And finally, my last one. I had fun last week. We probably went on a little longer than we should have with our hashtag rundown. But a good one that was also Halloween themed this last week was gentler horror films.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I think Patton Oswalt started it. We'll start this off with Kristen Keggy. Remember, gentler horror films.
Sure.
Night of the Remaining Living Members of the Grateful Dead.
I got one right here. Christian themed Halloween.
Parking is a nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, that's more of a gripe. But yeah, I don't have any. Let me see if I can think of some. Shit. We're gonna do another one.
The Poultry Guys.
Oh God. The Vegan Candyman.
The Vegan Candyman.
Don't say his name 3 times in the mirror. He'll replace all your clothes with hemp-based clothing.
I know what you did last summer, and the vacation photos were awesome.
Final Destination, Jacksonville.
And my last one, The Wedding Ring.
Nah. Oh, That's actually still pretty scary, you guys. You guys, don't get married.
Oh, golf clap.
Oh, you guys, I really enjoyed this episode. I love Halloween. I hope you have a fun Halloween. And fuck these goody two-shoes. TP the guy you don't like this year. Throw an egg. See if you can hit some moving cars. It's really difficult, but if you don't care, it can sometimes work out for you.
Yeah, this was a fun trip down memory lane. As always, you can subscribe to the show via iTunes and Stitcher. If you do, as always, rate and review us.
I feel like that's going to happen.
You can interact with us through Facebook and Twitter. We like writing and posting and all kinds of other things that don't end with a G. Follow along with the episode images in the show notes. We will have a ton for this one at geekgirlnerdboy.com. And also, our phone number. I had totally meant to put a call out for people to write in with their favorite candies and shit, but I didn't.
Our phone number.
Our hotline, 518-893-1462. Thank you all for listening, and stay nerdy, my friends.
Adios, vaya con Dios.
That would actually be a pretty good Halloween costume. So let's just jump right in then.
Oh, so spirited tonight.
Let me finish this first glass of wine. I'm sure I'll be better after the break. Not in one gulp. That wouldn't be ladylike.
I'll feel you later, emotions.
All right, let's keep the slurping to a minimum, guys.
Let's drink till we can't feel feelings anymore. I made it Halloweeny by putting 3 drops of grenadine in it after it was finished, so it looked like blood dripping down through the whole thing.
You made a Shirley Temple is what you did.
I don't. Just because it has cherry flavoring in it does not make it a Shirley Temple.
Yep.
I was shitty.
Or shit-faced. Or, I don't know, maybe you were being an ass too. That would make you shitty.
I'm always an ass. I mean, really, do you know me? You know what the good thing about being a girl is? You can like dicks and people don't say you're gay.
By definition, yes.
Can we pause a second?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to test the mute on my microphone.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, you're totally. I can't.
Totally don't know why the mute isn't working. Hold on a second.
No, I was kidding. It did work. I was kidding.
I didn't hear you. Yeah,
Fuck you. Then I'm just coughing and you can edit it out.
No, your mute totally worked.
I don't even know what to believe.
It did work.
I hate you guys.
You're welcome.
I work in IT and I still do not understand where there are like 6 different points of failure.
This has been a Fanboys Incorporated network production, found on fanboysinc.com, iTunes, and Stitcher. See ya, bye.